So we're entering module 2 now for you at the Grounded Confident Personal Development Program. And this is your mind. We're going to be discussing your mind one more time. Let me go through this video and re-explain to you this concept of the powerful mind and the laws of attraction. So you have your conscious mind and you have your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is the thinking mind, the educational mind, that analytical, intellectual, logical type of mind. So it's able to differentiate right from wrong and that make those decisions for you based on what it thinks is correct. And then you have your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is your paradigm holder, and it's basically the sum total of your thoughts, whether they're positive or negative. So if you have, let's say, you've gone through your life and you have 100 thoughts about your productivity. You go through as you're a child, your parents tell you, you need to focus, you're not focusing enough, you don't have what it takes, you could apply yourself so much better if you focus, but you can't focus, and you have ADHD and you have ADD and you have this, you don't have any attention, and you're not able to focus. If you hear this 100 times, you have 100 different negative thoughts about focus and your ability to focus, or the fact that you don't have any attention span. But then at some point in time, you might reach a point in time in your life where you are being told, or you hear, or you tell yourself that no, you have the ability to focus. And actually, if you really put your mind to it, you can focus really, really well. And you have excellent focus, and you've determined how to create that focus and how to maintain that focus. And you start to develop more and more confidence around focus until you reach a point where you now have more, your scale is tipped more on the focus side than the you don't have the ability to be attentive. And when that happens, when that shift takes place, basically you are creating a new paradigm for yourself. That new paradigm is that you are able to focus, and that's how you know you're going to get the results that you want to get. And this is the subconscious mind. This is how it works. When some people, when they are diagnosed with certain things, and then they start to believe it, and their whole belief system then it takes them on a path that hurts them sometimes. And it's all because somebody told them something, where if they hadn't known that piece of information, they could have been much stronger and much better of a person. But is it true or not? That's a big question. When you believe something or you don't believe it, you're right? This is where that statement of whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. If you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. This whole concept comes from your own belief, your limiting belief of yourself. This is your subconscious mind that's in there, and it's time to fish it out and get it out forever, and switch that subconscious mind to be hacked, to work in your favor, not against you. That's the whole idea here. So your paradigm holder, your subconscious mind, it's unable to differentiate right from wrong. It's unable to reject or accept. All it does is it holds the paradigm for you. And then you have your body. So what happens is your conscious mind conceptualizes something, and then your subconscious mind shifts to resonate with that thing, and then your body acts to achieve that thing. And as your body acts to achieve that thing, because of the vibration of energy, your body is attracting it towards itself as well. And so they move together to move towards each other, and this cycles over and over again. So it's like these scales are there for you. And if you keep on telling yourself, I don't have time, I never have time, I don't have any time, I'm so busy and life's so busy, I can't, I'm suffocating, I'm under the water, and there's nothing I can do about it, well, then I'm sorry, there really is nothing that you can do about it. But if you start to believe that, hey, you know what, I do have something to do about it. I can focus my time and my energy on the things that are important for me that will help me take me into the direction that I want to take myself in. And actually, I do have plenty of time. That time that I have is very valuable, though, and I'm going to use it in the way that's going to serve me in the best of ways. And all of a sudden, time becomes a resource instead of something to complain about. And it's helping you move in the correct direction for yourself based on what your goals and the results that you're really looking for are. And then what we discussed is who you are today doesn't really matter. What matters is who you are becoming. We are always moving in a direction. Either we're moving down or we're moving up. We're not staying the same. That doesn't happen. Okay? And it's our habits that determine whether we're moving up or we're moving down in life. Whether we're developing or whether we're regressing. Our habits will help us realize that. So if you can see that your habits are not very good right now, you're biting your nails or you're always worried, your anxieties are there, something's got to change right away, and it's got to be something that changes in your day-to-day actions. Okay, so what matters is who you strive to become in the future and what you're doing to move into that direction. That means what it comes down to are the choices that you make today will determine your future result. There's your current self, and there's your future self. And you want to move towards your future self because now you really want your future self to be that developed leader, that strong and confident, grounded individual. So you're going to work towards that, and you're going to do certain things like what I explained to you in the last module. You're going to do your progressive statements. And you're going to start off doing these progressive statements and spending some time at the beginning of your day focusing on working on yourself. But as you're going to start, what's going to happen is you're going to have pushback. And that pushback is going to slow you down. But the key is for you to overcome that pushback and push harder to make sure that you start to achieve the results and become that future self that you're going to become. And it's going to get closer to you. But the closer you get, also there's still going to be pushback, because there's something that is going to want to push and keep you the same way that you are right now. But you know that you need to change, and it's so critically important for you to change. And that's why you're part of this program. You paid money and you've enrolled in this course because you know you want to become a stronger, more grounded individual to start to see the results that you want to see. So you're going to push harder and harder, and you are going to break the mold now, and then you're going to become your future self. But this only happens when you pin your character down and tell it who's boss, and push it through and say, I am in charge and I am becoming who I want to become. So how do you tip the scale in your favor? We discussed progressive statements the other day, and saying things like, I'm on the path, I am progressing towards, I'm in the process of, and whatever that statement is that you want to make. So I'm on the path of developing my financial base and leading the life that I want to live. I'm on the way to being whole and healthy and abundantly wealthy, and I'm on the path to leading my life and taking it in the direction that I choose to. Now, today we're going to be talking a little bit more on tipping the scale in your favor and focusing on what it is that you want. The progressive statements sort of stemmed a little bit from the statements, the atmosphere, the environment around us that puts us down and says we can't do certain things, and flipping those statements around to say, no, I can do everything I want to, and I'm on my way to actually achieving all those results that I want to achieve. Now we're going to start to focus on what are those results that we want to achieve. What is it that would really bring us that happiness, that joy, that contentment, that we are moving forward and we're seeing what we want to see in our lives. Right? Now there is a special saying that we have in scripture, in the Quran, that if you are grateful, surely I will increase it for you. This is the Creator that's saying to you, the Creator of the universe, that says, if you are grateful, then surely I will increase it for you. So I want you to start thinking about the things that you can be grateful for. This is extremely important. Think of those things in your life that you can be grateful for. I want you to actually create a list. Just list out, do it on your notes or on your phone or something, but make a list and list out all the different things that you're grateful for. A full list. Take like 20 minutes of your time and create this list, whether it comes to with the family that you have and the support that you have, the friends, your children perhaps, or your spouse. You could be discussing the work and the standard of life that you're able to live, that you know others don't have the opportunity to live that type of life, the country that you're in, the freedoms that you have, your ability to take a program like this and develop yourself, your future ambitions. There's so many things to be grateful for. The places that you've visited, where you've traveled to in life, the experiences that you've had, the connections that you've made. There's so much to be grateful for. So take that time to really think about what it is that you're grateful for, and what it is that you would love for the creator of the universe, God, to give back to you over and over again, that he'll increase for you. What do you want? When you know what you want, it's a lot easier to go for it and to see it manifest itself in your life because you're looking for it. So first off, let's learn to be grateful. What are you grateful for? And then second off, what is it that brings you happiness? What are those specific situations where you have found happiness in your life? And it doesn't typically have to do with your circumstances of life or the condition that you're living. So many times it has to do with the freest things in life. It has to do with looking at nature in a certain way, or experiencing a fun time with some people that you're around, regardless of how much money you have in the bank. Just having fun, laughing and enjoying each other's company. A trip that you might have gone on that helped you with your perspective, or allowed you to see something amazing, or a television show or a movie that changed your perspective on life. These things are all there to bring us happiness. Maybe a specific experience that you've had where you felt enlightened or in balance and closer to the Creator, right? Closer to God. And then ask yourself, how do you experience that more? How do you bring more happiness into your life? Essentially, this is what we all want. We all want happiness. And happiness comes from achievement a lot of times. But it also, that achievement is not the be all and end all, because then it would just create something else to go and achieve. Right? Success is a moment. That happiness, that achievement, happiness that comes from an achievement is that moment. And after that point, it's doing more work or reaching for the next achievement. Right? So one of the things that I want to show you is there's a, let me pull it out over here and you'll see it in the module as well, is I've created this happiness worksheet for you. It says, find a quiet place that is suitable for reflection and empty out your thoughts so that you are able to focus. It should be a quiet place and a time when you have all to yourself. And then I want you to answer the following questions in as much depth as you're able to, right? And you can print this sheet out. It's part of the module, and you can type right into this sheet if you'd like to. And here are the questions. Think of a few times in your life where you experienced true happiness. Consider the atmosphere. What was happening? Who was there? What were the factors that contributed to that exact moment or that period in your life? And describe those moments. And for me, when I went through this, for me, so much of this came down to connecting with people and sharing ideas of development, or connecting with nature, seeing the birds flap their wings and feeling like I'm flying myself, or looking at the sunrise and the sunset and the waves of the ocean. And these things really bring a sense of peace and happiness for me. and they bring me a closeness to the Creator that I can't describe. It's so lofty. And then what does happiness mean to you? And for each of us, happiness could be something slightly different. What does it mean to you specifically? Take some time to ponder over this and answer this question. What common elements are there in the situations that brought you happiness? So think of a few different situations in your life where you felt ecstatic, like out of this world. You were in a state of just euphoria. And what were the similar elements that you saw in those different moments? And finally, what actions can you take to attract more happiness in your life? And I'm willing to bet that the answer to this for most people is schedule in things that I know will bring me happiness. I recall there was one point in my life where I was feeling a little bit down, and I was thinking, what's different? What's changed in my life right now that I'm feeling down? And what I realized was I wasn't as involved in competitive sports as I used to as used to be as a child, and I missed the socializing that goes along with that, as well as just the feeling of success and reaching success on a team, beating people, being the best. And so I right away joined hockey, I joined volleyball, and I got back into sports, and it felt amazing. It was awesome. But I had to introspect and figure out what it was that was missing, what was different that I'm lacking, in order to then bring it back into my life and focus on it for myself. Because we're only good to other people, or available or able to help others, if we have already been able to help ourselves. Meaning, if we're in a poor situation or poor state ourselves, where we are in need of help, how much help can we offer somebody else by experiencing the things that we need to in order for us to grow and develop? Okay. The other thing that I wanted to show you now that brings this all together is the importance of journaling. Okay, and the importance of journaling is, this is probably the number one thing that can be responsible for changing somebody's life, because this directly affects the subconscious mind. This is a habit that you can do on a daily basis, and if it's focused enough in the right direction, it will lend you the opportunity to start seeing the results over time. Okay? And I have a specific way of journaling. This is one of the sheets. You will be provided with journals, a few journals to get you going. And this one, I call this a daily journal, where I call it my amazing day. And you can date it. And then the focus of this is, first of all, figuring out what are your big goals and what are your goals for life. And they don't just have to be for work, but they can be for life. Like, what are your family relationship goals? What are your spiritual goals? Right? And we're going to talk more about this in the upcoming modules. But just to start you off, what actions did I do today to bring me closer to my goals? And list out 3 of those. What am I committing to doing tomorrow to bring me closer to my goals? So that you're already thinking ahead and thinking, how am I going to bring my goals, my long-term goals, that were the things that I really want to focus on, how do I make space for them in my life? Because I want to progress. I want to see that progress. But I need to make space in my life for me to see that progress. Well, how am I going to create that space, or what am I going to do tomorrow to make sure that I'm moving forward towards reaching my goals? And then, what are a few things that I'm grateful for? Now, recall that I mentioned that when we're grateful, then the Creator will increase it for us, whatever it is that we're grateful for. Well, so what are a few things that I'm grateful for right now while I'm writing this journal? What am I grateful for? Whether it's the ability that I'm living, the fact that I'm living. It could be the food that I have, that God has provided for me. Or it could be the way that my children are developing, or my own development. It could be even saying, I'm grateful for myself, for the things, my own personality, and what I have, and what I'm able to achieve, what my potential is. And then the next question is, how did I experience happiness today? Happiness is something that is not circumstantial at all. In fact, it's our gratefulness, our gratitude that brings us happiness. Okay? So it starts with gratitude. Gratitude brings us happiness. The more grateful and the happier, the more grateful we are for the things that we appreciate, the more we appreciate them, then the more happy we are when we experience them again. And the more happy we are when we experience them, the more we want to attract those things into our lives. So the more we attract more actions or more situations or circumstances that will bring us happiness, the happier we'll become. But the point is here when we're journaling is to register these thoughts. Because we go through our days mindlessly. We can go through an entire day without paying attention to anything that's really going on. We're just trying to get things done, trying to get things done. Just one task to the next, to the next, to the next. But when something good actually happens to us during the day, we need to sit back and bask in it. We need to sit back and just pause for a second and say, wow, this just happened. Incredible. Let's think about this. Let's sit back and take a deep breath and take the moment in. That's really what we need to do. Let's take the moment in. And this journaling activity is about thinking back at your day, writing it down. What are the things that brought me happiness? When did I experience happiness today? Write it down and then just sit there and experience it. Experience that happiness. Experience that child of yours giving you a hug and telling you that they love you. Experience it. Experience that sharing a moment with somebody and then appreciating the fact that, hey, I shared a moment and I feel much better right now. Take that deep breath. Bask in it. I made the sale. Awesome sale. I did so well on this sale. Take the time to appreciate it. Pause, reflect over it, and tell yourself, this is amazing. I'm having a wonderful day today. Right? This is how your happiness is going to come about. It's going to come about by you focusing on it. Focus on that happiness and bring it back into your life. Be in the moment when it's happening. When you see yourself so busy with life, when you see yourself driving to work and back and not ever looking up at the sky or looking at those birds that are chirping or listening to something that you enjoy, and then being in the moment at that time and saying, oh, this is wonderful. Let me just take a second. And what I recall is when I went through the process of figuring out what it was that made me happiness, and that it was connected to the relationships that I have with people. So much so that I realized I was really busy, but I made it a point that anytime I had an opportunity to meet with somebody, to talk about something, to connect, to enjoy somebody's company, that I decided to put my work away for 30 minutes and do that. Why? Because what's the point if I'm not happy? I need to experience that happiness. That happiness will energize me and allow me to do more. Right? Same thing goes with going to the gym, for example, right? Or working out or playing sports. You might be tired and it takes more energy to do that activity, but once you do it, then you're energized somehow. It's phenomenal, right? So happiness comes from gratitude. And the way that you experience more and more happiness is by letting loose and being more and more in the moment and allowing for happiness experiences to come your way. And when they come your way, to be grateful that you have experienced that happiness, so that you're attracting it back to you again and again. So these are critical. This journaling method of what are a few things that I'm grateful for and how did I experience happiness today, and these could be the same things that keep on recurring. You might find that you're writing these same things down day after day or week after week, and that's great. Then you really know what is it that's bringing you that happiness. You have an opportunity here to write a few notes for the week and what's happened, or anything extra that you want to write to yourself, a note to self. And then these words are important. I am in the process of reaching new heights every day and achieving my goals. Right? I'm grateful to the Creator, and I'm on my way to finding happiness in everything I do. Success is a daily process, and I'm committed to achieving success in all aspects of my life. So this is the type of journaling that I'm talking about. And essentially what you're doing is you're registering your day. You're bringing it back into focus. And you're saying, what did I accomplish today? I'm lucky to have been alive. What did I do, and how am I moving forward in the direction that I really want to move in? Okay, and finally, as I mentioned, journaling. These are the types of things that are going to help you with your subconscious mind and reframing it. Now imagine and think about the possibilities that over the next 6 weeks or to 12 weeks you're focusing on fixing your mind, your subconscious mind, and bringing about the positivity, the happiness, the gratitude, the gratefulness that you really need. You need this. We all need this to start to see the results that we want to see. And you'll see very soon how happy you'll become and how much better of an outlook your life will have. And then you'll start to look back through your journal pages and start to see that you are actually moving very well in the right direction of your true goals. And your life is changing, you're transforming. And that's the whole idea. I just want to take you back to this diagram now. And really focus on this. Okay? Who you are today doesn't really matter. It's all about who you're becoming. And that person that you're becoming, at this point in time, you are going to do everything to pull yourself back and not become that future self. But what you really need to do is overcome that and think about your future self and think about who that person is and how strong that person is and how that future self is definitely way stronger and way more powerful than your present self, your current self, and that they should be able to win this battle. And start acting like that future self. Sometimes you got to fake it to make it, but you're gonna make it. The key is to work, to take action, to create a space, create a point in time during your day where you're going to focus on your personal growth. And take the time to sit down with the worksheets, and it's not much work here. I've started this off very slow for you. Take the time to fill out the worksheets, to do what it takes to start moving in the correct direction for your life. The progressive statements daily, 3 times a day, and journaling every night before bed. At that point in time when your subconscious mind is just about to become the most alert, when you're sleeping. Right before you go to sleep, you need to be focusing on the positives of life, the good results that you're getting, how you're moving towards your goals, those things that you're grateful for, those things that bring you that happiness. Let's focus on this. Try it for a change and you'll see how your life changes. I can vouch for it. It's done a lot for me too. Alright? So that's it for this training module. Okay, so far, like I mentioned, we've gone over progressive statements, and now I've introduced this new concept of journaling to you, and I want you to start with the journaling immediately and never stop the journaling for the rest of your life. If you do that, you'll see how incredibly fierce, focused, and results-oriented you'll become, and you'll start to see the changes and the happiness and the gratitude come to you forever. All right? So take care, and we'll talk soon.